Hey, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a DIY show about how to change a windows regulator on a GMC Terrain. Now, if you have this car, you know that it has a history of this window regulator failing. And it's expensive if you bring it to the dealer to have it replaced. And by the way, using OEM parts is not the greatest thing. I'm going to be talking about that at the very end. But if you want to learn how to do this, I have now created a step-by-step guide. I'm going to show you as I install one in my son's car, and we're going to see how that's done. Now, regretfully, I didn't get a very good picture, but when you go to remove the door panel, and we're going to get into that in great detail, there's a little piece where you pull the handle that unlocks the door to get out. That is where one of the screws is. And GMC made this almost impossible to replace. But what I want you to point out is that in the right hand, where my finger is, on this panel, there's a notched edge. You'll see it. It goes very circular, and that's the notched edge. That's where you're going to put a ruler or a screwdriver, very thin screwdriver, underneath there. And what you do is you press the center of this plastic piece. And as you press in, you put your screwdriver in. And as you do, you'll be able to lift up and pull it out. Let's get into the video. You can fast forward through the sections, but I'm going to go step by step on how to change this. It is not hard, but it does take time, and it takes two tools.
Now, in order to do that, right over here, there's a little panel you'll need to remove, and there's a bolt here, and you'll need to take out your switch assembly right here. So we're going to do that next. Now, we've already actually opened this up once before and wedged the window open. So I had some tape here to keep my granddaughter from opening that. Now, basically, we're going to go in here, and you want to go from this side because you'll notice if you try to go the other side, it won't come out. Get your screwdriver in there. You can see Grandpa uses his tools because right now the paint on this screwdriver is coming off even as I use it. What we're trying to do is there's a little wedge here we got to get in under. Once we do, this will lift up. There he comes. See it? And you'll need to disconnect your switch assembly. I hope you can see this. And there's tabs on each side of the switch. Basically, take your screwdriver and just wedge it underneath. Of course, it's being stubborn. Now, what my son is doing is once we go to remove the motor, the glass can fall back down. So we're cutting a little tape on it to keep it from moving, okay? Everything about here is preparation. Okay, I got one side open, and then I got to get the other side. Because it's going to want to, this is not no fake video, my friends. We are doing this live. And you can see sometimes you pop it off, and guess what? It pops back up again. Now inside, once we get in there it comes. I don't know if you can see this. And there's a natural tendency as you're trying to waggle this back and forth that it wants to pull. There it comes. You'll take your cover off. There's your switch. Now right over here, I don't know if you can see that there's 2 bolts. Right there. You see them? And there's one right in here. And that's what we're looking for. Now I'm going to get my tools and we're going to take them off. And 2 different size heads. At 9:30, we're going to go look inside. See if they open the deal. And that's that. Now, after you've gotten the 2 screws out, you've got to take the panel off. Now, the panel is best gotten by right around here. There's a space where you can actually pull the window off. Now, behind here, there's a release. There's a mechanism that connects to this. So we're going to have to take that off. So just, oh, do you need a screwdriver or nothing?
No.
I'm just putting it, you can see it here, and he's going to try to remove it.
Actually, I'll do it with a flathead.
Okay.
And
Now,
then I'll disconnect that. Or move it out of there.
get it out of there. Okay. Now, once you've done that, this is your water seal. And you basically peel it off. Now, if you took it off already the first time, it didn't quite stick well enough when we put it back, so we used a little tape to make sure it held in place. And you can see that. And here's our motor assembly. Now what we did, to hold the window up, we put a piece of wood and tie wrap and push it in the up position so the window would stay closed for the... Now what we'll be doing is removing the screws that hold the assembly. The assembly's right there on the Now there's a third one here. Now this one you don't want to take out immediately. Now what we're going to do is we're going to loosen, take off that, let me just go down. I've got to get to the 2 bolts that are holding this. All right. Now, I don't know if you can see it. In here, there. See the 2 clamps? Okay, okay, good now. I'll try that. And it always is better if you do it this way. Put that in that hole. Not too much. There we go. So what we do, obviously we're going to try to get the hose mechanism in the door first. Then we're going to try to maneuver it. Let's just get it in. What we want to do is try to line up this hole. At the same time we're doing that, we want to capture the glass. So the light, I can't see. So what we're going to have to do is actually lower the glass into the clamp.
You got to get this there.
And we'll do that by trying to get these there they are. Hold this like this so I can see the glass. There we go. On the other side, we can't see. Come over here. No, I'm not. That's one side. Let's do the other side so I can see it. Do you see the glass?
I don't see it, but I think it's...
There it is. Look, got it. Now, if we've got both sides captured, which we don't, hold this like this so I can see it. Give me this for a second. Always, you have to. What are you stuck in? There's one, and one. Unfortunately, let's take this away. Yeah, I leave the bolt out. I thought it would be easier if I did it this way, but it's not.
Told you.
Well, I could have sworn I remembered it the other way. Okay, put the light on there because I cannot see. That's one side. That's the other side. And there's the bolt. And you can put that in there.
It's not lined up. Maybe a little bit that way.
Okay.
Okay, the bolt is in but loose on purpose. So this way that you can
Right.
clamp onto the window.
Now what we've done is if you can see this, we've gone on each side and clamped onto the glass, and we started the first bolt. Then what we're going to do is now put the other two bolts on, making sure that any wires are not in the way. There it is. Okay. I'm going to line this up. You put it on that, please.
I can't quite do. I can't.
Okay, go ahead. That's right. Okay. You're going to give this good tightening. And then you're just going to give it a test going up and down. Make sure that everything is in line. All right, let's power up. And our window moves up, down, no issues. And now we're ready to put the cover back on again. Now when you're putting the cover back on, you'll have to reattach this piece and put the cover back on. And this glue may not stick anymore. You may have to use tape. And you'll have to line up the various tabs. Okay. All right. So lastly, we've put the panel back on. Those little snap locks are put in place. We put in the bolts. Now the last thing, of course, is just basically to put these bolts back into this hole. Now I happen to stick, personally for me, I stick Scotch tape into my nut holes, so that makes it, you can see, and there's two of them there. Now there's one over here still that I have to do. But before we do that, I'm going to put this back. And that's a matter of lining up the switch and the little piece nubs here, and then just dropping this side away from the switch in first. That's got to go in first. If you do it the other way, it won't work. You'll have problems. Locked in place. Now we're going to put this screw back in. We're going to have to change bits. Take a piece of blue tape, put it in this, but it keeps falling out. once you've tightened all your screws, now that cover that was such a challenge to get out, remember?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be putting that back in again. And now this is the piece that gave you so much trouble getting out. And I want you to see the little notch at the very end. See this notch here? What I'm pointing to? That's how you get it out. You've got to get your screwdriver underneath this little notch, press in the center, and while you're doing, push your finger in and push the screwdriver or small blade in there and pry it out. A little tricky, but that's how you get it out of there. All right, fingers, I'm going to let you do it because... Cool. Done. All right.
Anyway, I hope this information has been helpful for you. The reason I created this channel was primarily for you. Because as I learn to do something or change something or replace something, I know that other people like myself are trying to figure out how to do it themselves. So that's why I went through step by step in recording these videos, that you can see how to do it yourself. Now, some important information that, like I said, was at the end. One of the things is once you put the regulator in and you got it slid up onto the window, lower it down to where you can just tighten the bolts, but don't over tighten, and allow the window to go up and down several times. Once you do, bring it up to the alignment holes where you can tighten the window, and just give it a firm tight. Then all your bolts, give them a tight. Now, the last thing you should be doing is you should be lubricating, and this is for every car. You should put silicone lubricant inside the track of your window. One of the reasons why the window regulators fail, especially on GM, is that their window tracks tend to get clogged or gunked with gunk. And as the window glass starts to come down following the regulator, if it gets stuck, it'll put tremendous pressure on the cable, and that'll cause it to either jump off the pulleys or break the pulleys, okay? And sometimes even break the glass. So this is one of the reasons why you want to make sure you keep it lubricated. The other thing is very important is that if you have it's wintertime and you've got glass, the glass is covered with ice and snow, you want to get that completely off. Let that car warm up before you try to open that window. A lot of people try to open the window so they can break the ice and snow, and that is primary reason why these regulators fail, is because you put a lot of stress on them. It causes the bearings to bend, and then in a very short time after that it breaks. I hope this information again has been helpful for you. Don't forget again to like, share, and subscribe. Leave us a comment. Check out my other videos on DIY, product reviews, and all other things. And I can't wait to see you in the next video.